So let's talk about pack mentality, shall we? Now, we all know that these dogs have been domesticated and the genetics have been played with to get the desired breeding we want. So they descended from wolves, they say, don't they? But are they far from different from wolves? I don't think they are in a lot of ways. And the reason I say that is because how they revert back to behaviours if they were wild, and they go wild and feral very, very quick. We've been on shoots before where a dog has gone after a bird and then chased another bird and another bird and then got completely lost, and the owner can't find it on these big estates. And we've been out searching for the dog. Once the dog's been back to nature, that dog reverts into a completely different dog because of the experience it's had of isolation and survival. Now, sometimes you can find a dog a day, 2 days, 3 days later, and that dog will be okay. But if that dog has had to kill and eat and fend for itself, there's something in the genetics that kick in, and that dog can revert to back to being wild. And that's exactly what I was saying about the rabbit. A tame pet rabbit that's unwanted, and I bring him into my rabbit pen. You'd think that he'd sit there and get eaten or caught by a dog. My dogs don't eat rabbits unless they're dead and mangled up. They bring them to me. So there's the genetics that we've bred to. So is there such a thing as pack mentality? Of course there is, because a fine example is what's happening to me at the moment on the internet. Because I've disagreed with a dog trainer who has a small following, right, but has a little bit of credibility because he's been on TV. Look, there's a fine example. Look, that dog is eating that bird. Right, hey, get out of it. I don't want the dog to eat the bird, so I've stood on the bird. Because like I was saying to you, everything at the moment is grabbing everything out of the nest, and everything is being dragged across by cats, by other birds. And this is what they're doing, look. They're looking and they will eat it. And yet they get fed, they've had food, but they've got brilliant noses on them, and if they come across a small songbird, they will eat it. Now you could say, well, what's wrong with that? Get on it. I don't want them eating everything that they come across. I want them to hand it to me. So I don't want them doing that. So I have to step in at certain times. So going back to pack mentality, what happens is this trainer has got a following of a certain group of people. Not the same group as me, because he doesn't do gun dog training. So because we've had a disagreement about the ideology of dog training, and I didn't agree with him, and it offended him because he thought I was siding with somebody else. He thought I was being vindictive towards him. What he's done, he's gone after me like he said he would if anyone ever tries to discredit him. I wasn't discrediting him, I was disagreeing with his ideology. I wasn't being personal. I don't need to be. So what happens is, yes, we're still talking about pack mentality. He then tries to get a pack to attack in numbers to give him strength. Because the argument isn't with everybody who's on his friends list. The argument's with me and him. And it should have stayed with me and him. And it should have stayed in private. But he took offence and he threw his toys out the pram. Now, what happens now is he's creating hatred on the internet because I disagree with him. And so he's going in every direction he can to destroy my business my life. And we're getting death threats and we're getting threats of violence. And he's asking people to get involved and go onto my YouTube channel and dislike all these videos. That's the price you pay when you talk openly on the internet about dog training. I keep saying to you, it's not personal until somebody makes it personal. And isn't it funny? Dead. Come here. Look, see? Look, young dog. Harley Quinn. And I've taken it off him. Why? I don't want to eat in it. Fine example, everybody, of, and it's stinking, absolutely stinking, reeking, and he's picking it and carrying it. Or I punished him for doing that, or screamed at him, I would create a problem. I can't do that. All I have to do is take it off them. See how no one's grabbing it? They want it, they all want it, but no one's grabbing it. I'm teaching them that this is mine. Now, do I want to be picking up a stinking rabbit this time in the morning? No. That's the price you pay for being a gun dog trainer. So, as you can see, I work with gun dogs. I don't work with snowflakes. And some people say you cause all this trouble to yourself, Chris, by calling them snowflakes. No. It's when they come into my world and try and attack me, I expose them for what they are.